So somebody asked me, how do I cook a really quick weeknight meal, preferably a stir fry? I can do it on the cheap, I can do it quickly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold ourselves to 20 minutes right now. I just picked up a bunch of cheaper ingredients at the grocery store because I want this meal to be less than $20, all right? So I wanna walk through this ingredient list really quickly. I got one zucchini, this was like 90 cents or $1. I got these oyster mushrooms, they were on sale. They're kind of ugly, but still oyster mushrooms are delicious. Those were a couple bucks. I got these peppers right here, $1 or $2. I got onions, broccoli, garlic, water chestnuts, and then I've got top sirloin right there. This top sirloin, both of these, $5.45 for those top sirloins right there. So all in all, this is gonna be less than $20, and we're gonna see how much it produces. So let's just go ahead and start.
We need to put a timer on.
Oh, well, 20 minutes.
Remember?
We gotta get a 20-minute timer going.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do when making a quick weeknight meal is I make sure I have all my ingredients together. I put them onto a sheet pan or a half sheet pan. So have your cutting board, have a garbage bowl ready, all right? And with these, what I like to do on the stir fry, when I cut the zucchini, I take out the inside of the seed, all right? And I'm just gonna kind of tear through this, so I'm not gonna break it all down bit by bit. I like in a stir fry for the pieces to kind of be jagged. I think that looks cool, and that's traditional to kind of like a lot of Asian style cooking.
So tell people why you took the seeds out.
So I took the seeds out because they're bitter and they don't add any nutritional value, and the seeds also are kind of poisonous. Not really poisonous in the sense that you don't want to eat them, but we can get into nutritional elements.
Like upset your tummy?
Yeah, it upsets your tummy. It just adds nothing to it, right? Like all the flavors in the flesh, so I removed the seeds.
Next.
So right there, bingo. Okay, we're gonna put these off to the side.
Okay.
Next, I'm gonna take down.
Show people how to properly cut this.
Okay, well, I take this down the center, all right? I take the top out, all right? And that's it. Right? What people always do is they'll take the tops and the bottoms off and cut them separately. You don't need to do that, you're just wasting it. And I'll pull out these ribs because these are also bitter. Whenever you're making any dish where you're mixing all of the ingredients together, you want them to basically be of similar shapes. So I'm gonna try and cut my yellow peppers, which are a little bit sweeter, the same way that I would cut the zucchini so that they're the same shape. So let's take this down on the red pepper, all right, same thing. Right down the center, scoop out the inside, scoop out the inside, all right? Take the ribs out.
But for people who are not a professional chef, could they pull this off in 20 minutes?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Because you're going extremely
So ideally,
fast.
we're gonna finish it in 15 minutes, and I'm gonna say for those people who don't have the cutting skills, they can do it in less time. But this is the fun part, is the cutting, right? And I'm making this for like, we're a family of 6, so this is gonna feed a family of 6, obviously. Just use one pepper if you want, or just set it aside and save it if you want to use just one pepper and not have as much. Ooh, these things smell like butt. These are oyster mushrooms, all right? They're a little slimy, but they're delicious, so I'm just gonna pull them.
And they're like, okay, slimy.
Yeah, they're fine slimy, I'm just saying, like,
all right.
I mean, they're mushrooms, right? Like, you're gonna get, they're a little bit psychedelic, so you might trip a little bit.
I can't wait.
All right, so we got our broccoli. Here we go. Now on the broccoli, same idea. I like the stem of broccoli, so I'll cut them into longer pieces so I can get a little bit of a nice sear when we actually cook them. Okay, so we got our mushroom, we got our broccoli.
Now I'm saving the worst for last.
The worst?
I don't,
what do you mean
because my eyes will start burning.
That is true.
So that's why I waited.
All right, so I'm just gonna do a half of the onion on this. You're not gonna use them all, right? So like you might have half an onion left over. You might have, well, we got a little garlic. You might have some garlic left over, right? Wipe as you go. And then on these, let's just go ahead and do we'll do a basic julienne on these onions. Julienne are just strips of the onions, all right? So we'll break those up. Let's do some garlic cloves.
3, 4?
Yeah. And with the garlic cloves, I'm just gonna crush those.
So strong.
I'm a strong man. I've been working out. I've actually been, this is the thing. I read a lot of Chernovich's Gorilla Mindset, which just gives me this real strength inside that powers through me day in and day out.
Oh.
Plus being married to somebody as beautiful as you, it's easy to be strong, both emotionally and physically. I could keep going.
What do you want?
Actually, what do I want? Could you possibly make me a cornstarch slurry?
Sure, I'd love to.
The cornstarch is right there. I'm going to cook all of this in batches, right? The key with a good stir fry is that you're just browning the exterior. It's lightly cooked. You're tossing it all together in a nice sauce. I don't mind having big hunks of garlic in my food. I actually enjoy it, But if you want to get that real fine garlic flavor that's not necessarily in your face, then mince it up even more. Lauren's making a cornstarch slurry just because I want to get ahead on this, and that's ultimately going to pull our sauce together. And the cornstarch slurry is what gives Chinese food and Japanese cooking as well a lot of that velvety finish and that velvety shine in the sauce.
I mean, you could feel it when you're making it.
You can feel it. Yeah, you can. You can.
It feels like glue.
Feel this.
Yeah, nice, but it
Yeah.
feels like glue, like Elmer's glue.
Well, it is. It's called. There's a name for that.
Did
the
you
kids
just
do it
fart?
No, it was my. It was the knife on the cutting board. I'd let you know if I farted. Okay, so there we go. So now we got our garlic off to the side, and I got the top sirloin right here. Now what we're going to do with the top sirloin, I'm gonna make this quick. This beef is gonna be a little bit tougher, so we're gonna toss this in baking soda to raise the pH.
A teaspoon, or is it a quarter?
It's a teaspoon because we're truly velveting on this one.
Okay.
Add a little bit of soy sauce to that.
How much? Like a teaspoon?
A couple tablespoons.
A couple tablespoons.
Yep, or tamari. That's tamari, which is just soy sauce without the wheat, so it's gluten-free. It's real soy sauce. Now mix all that up together with our beef. Okay, so that's marinating. Throw maybe just a couple pieces of garlic in there. So let's get this over to the stove and get my pan absolutely blasting, all right? And I'm gonna put this right here because I'm gonna cook it in batches. I'm gonna bring my cutting board over to the stove. I'm gonna get this hot as heck, all right? Hot as Hades. Turn this around. And I'm gonna start cooking all of these in batches. I'm not gonna cook the vegetables all together because they cook at different times. So you wanna cook them all 50% through. I'm gonna throw it all into the bowl. Then actually, no. So then we're gonna throw it into the bowl. I had an idea, but I changed my mind. We're gonna throw it into the bowl. We're gonna sear the meat. We're gonna throw the meat in the bowl. We're gonna throw it all back in the pan. We're gonna make the sauce and then toss it up with the hot sauce and bam.
All right, I'm gonna tell you our time.
Okay, what's our time?
We have 11 minutes left.
We have 11 minutes left?
11:50.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go smoke a cig.
He doesn't do that.
I don't smoke.
Yeah.
So we got this pan. Let's get this like smoking hot. Now I've got beef tallow in the pan right now. This is primed with beef tallow. This is a carbon steel pan, which is basically a mix between a stainless steel and a cast iron. It's much more malleable. You can pick it up, you can move it around. It's not as difficult as cast iron, but you cook and season in the pan just like you would cast iron. We got this going. We got this blasting. I'm excited. Are you excited for some stir fry?
I'm excited. So you're gonna cook all these off.
Yeah.
Put them in the bowl.
Yep.
As you cook them, then bring them back into this. What are you doing here?
You're just gonna have to watch and see.
Because this looks really small to
It
have all
is. It is
of
small,
that.
but people. Well, traditionally I would do this in a wok, right?
Okay.
Like you could do it in a big wok, but everybody who's got a wok at home.
I don't know. Some
And even
people.
if you have a wok and you're doing it on just like a wok, traditionally needs to go into a table with like a wok burner. So it's like, don't go out and buy a wok and think that you're using if you use a wok on a stove like this, it's irrelevant. You might as well just use something with more surface area.
Let's go.
All right, let's do this. Ready? Onion in.
First. Are we seasoning as we go?
We're gonna season as we go. Yep. Table 49. So I'm gonna add my zucchini in here.
And so you're clearly doing this like intentionally with each vegetable. So
Yes.
like for people who don't know, so first you would do your onion because those take a little bit longer, and then you're doing zucchini.
I'm doing zucchini because I want the zucchini to cook through, right?
Yes.
And the onions can go, it's based on what you like eating raw, right? Think about it that way. I don't mind eating broccoli and red peppers like a little bit raw, but I don't want to eat zucchini raw, and I definitely don't want to eat onions raw. So I start with the onions first, and then I work my way through. Okay. The only reason I'm not adding the mushrooms yet is because the mushrooms are going to release moisture. I want to make sure that these get nice and brown, so that, see I'm getting a little bit of burn on the onion, which is what you want. That's actually called an onion brulee in French cooking. They'll burn an onion for sauces. So do the same thing here, right? Now we're gonna get those ready. Now watch this. I'm gonna add my garlic because I want to get that toasted. I want to get that toasted with the onion. Now garlic, people have the tendency to cook too long. People think you cook garlic for like 4 minutes.
So are you just gonna do these three, put in the bowl, and then do that?
I'm gonna keep cooking these. I'm gonna add my mushrooms. My mushrooms are gonna release liquid.
Yeah,
then I'm gonna let that liquid evaporate. Then I'm gonna put that whole mix into the bowl. I'm gonna do another quick sear in the pan with the red peppers and the broccoli. And then we're gonna finish with the beef and then make the sauce.
All right, I'm gonna check the time.
Okay.
8 minutes. 30 seconds.
There we go. Okay.
You got this, Andrew?
Yep, now let's add our mushrooms, right? This is gonna add that umami, it's gonna add that richness, a ton of flavor in there. Okay, now I want just a little bit more fat, right? So I'm just gonna add a touch more beef tallow. Now, if I was making a stir fry with chicken, I might not use the beef tallow. I might use like a ghee or a duck fat, or even a schmaltz.
A schmaltz.
I lost the
the
mushroom.
mushroom. Man down.
Yep.
Man down.
Man down. All right, there we go, right?
Okay.
Now, get those mushrooms ready and Now the idea behind the stir fry is like, these are just like flash fried vegetables, mushrooms, whatever you want to call it. Everything, all of it, right? So it's coming together quickly.
This would work too. Like even if you were like a vegetarian, you didn't even need to add the meat.
Yeah, you don't need to add the meat. And actually then we can really get it done in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah, so better
And
hurry.
that's from start to finish, right? From cooking to cutting to, you name it. All right, so ready, we'll go about 30 more seconds here. I'm letting this go. And here we are. And one stir. Oh yeah. Give that a stir. Now those mushrooms are coming out, right? Go right in here. Big bowl off to the side. Okay.
Now,
wipe
are you
this
gonna
out.
add more fat?
Gonna wipe that out. Yep, you got it, girl. Okay.
Time 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Let's see if we can really do it.
A little bit more
in 20
fat.
minutes. Are you feeling the heat?
Oh, this is burning me.
I meant the pressure.
Oh, the pressure? Oh, yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna go in with the broccoli.
Ooh. And then you want to keep these a little crunchier?
Yeah, I like the peppers almost raw. That's just me. I like the peppers almost raw. If you don't like the peppers, don't use the peppers, you know? Don't want to use the peppers. And then we're gonna finish this with some water chestnuts. You wanna pop that can of water chestnuts open for me? Okay, so now I'm gonna throw in some of the peppers with the broccoli. That's gonna steam it a little bit because they're gonna release liquid. I'm not gonna use all these peppers. Give this a stir.
All right, babe.
That broccoli's got
I don't want to scare you.
It's all right. Let's just, let's just let it be at this point because there's not much more we can do. Oh yeah, you hear those peppers popping? So now we're blistering the skin on the exterior of those peppers. They're sweet bell peppers. That's gonna release a little bit more moisture. You can't see it, but it's gonna actually start to kind of deglaze the pan. The broccoli's gonna keep cooking. It's gone from charred to roughly steamed, right? And then we'll toss that in the bowl here.
Woo-wee.
Now we'll add one more ploosh of beef fat, beef tallow. Oh yeah, okay.
And that's gonna cook so quickly. That's gonna be done in what? Whoa! I'm not expecting that. That's gonna be done in what, like 3 minutes? 2 minutes?
Yep. So let's just let that sear all around. And then we're gonna make our sauce.
Okay.
We're gonna make our sauce right here in the pan. So now I've
We're gonna
got
grab these.
fish sauce. Yep. I've got champagne vinegar. I'm just gonna let this cook a little bit.
And oyster sauce.
Yep, I got oyster sauce, champagne vinegar, and fish sauce. Okay, because that's a ton of umami in there. Mm-hmm. Let that go. Now I'm gonna deglaze this with just a touch of champagne vinegar. Okay. A little bit of fish sauce. Touch of oyster sauce. Okay. Now, Lauren, if you want to hit me with that cornstarch slurry.
All of it?
And just half of it. There you go, that's good. Okay, and we're gonna thicken that up. I'll let that cook. Just do another touch of water.
Oh, I'm excited.
Let that simmer, cook the cornstarch out. Okay, mix it up. Then take this right in there. I've moved this all back over to the cutting board, fold in some of the water chestnuts, mix all this together. We'll just season this off. Now at this point, like if you wanted to add some spice to it, you could add some spice. I'm gonna add some chives. You can add sesame seeds at this stage of the game. I don't know if we have any.
We don't.
We don't. But what I'll do is I'm just going to take this, okay? Mix it into the bowl. And look, this thing is chock full of meat. Like, this is a great vegetable stir fry. We got a ton of meat in there.
Oh, that looks, it's so velvety looking.
It's velvety.
It's velvety. Looks beautiful. Wow.
Let's make sure this, get a nice food shot here. Get the rest of that. The chives, yep.
Up!
Look at that, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Amazing. Okay, now let me shut this off. Okay. Hey, that was exactly 20 minutes.
Okay, why is this good? Well, a couple reasons. Not steamed vegetables tossed with a sauce and beef. When you cook it all in layers like that, these peppers so crispy, blistered on the outside, cooked in with all the sauces. There's a zucchini cooked all the way through, which is important. But this meat, I mean, you got a pound of meat in there, top sirloin. It's a much less expensive cut. We velveted the meat with some baking soda, which breaks it down, makes it more tender. I mean, this is, oh, it's so tender. Like that's high quality meat right there.
And would they be able to do this with like chicken as well? Do they add, and this is a dumb question maybe, would they add baking soda to the chicken?
No, it's not a dumb question. You still do the same thing with chicken. Yeah, it's called velveting beef. That's, how tender is that though, right?
It's really good.
Tender as the night.
I'm gonna have a water chestnut.
There you go.
Love it.
So so what did we say in conclusion? What did that cost us? That was less than $20, less than 20 minutes. There it is. A new show, less than $20, less than 20 minutes. So realistically, I mean, this would feed 2 men. That would feed 2 men. That would feed like 4 kids. And here, William, come on in. You want some of our stir fry? How much of this do you think you would eat? How much of this could you eat? Do you think the whole thing? Like a quarter of it? Well, yeah, so you figure, let's just average, say that's good enough for 4 people. 3 people, that's good enough for 3 people right there. $20, that's $7 a person, less than $7 a person.
Or this is a good meal prep too. For people that are meal prepping, this can last you like 4 days.
You could also add a little bit more money to it and throw some chopped nuts on top of there. Some chopped nuts.
What do you think, Will?
Should we chop some nuts?
Okay, I won't call him Will. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, bye. Love you, William.
Good talk, big guy. Good talk. All right.
I love it.
There we go. Let's dig in. Dinner! 20 minutes, $20. It's our new show.
I love it.
I
actually like the timer. It like gave me like,
I mean,
I didn't do anything. I was just watching. I made a cornstarch slurry. Yeah, I know he was actually. That was fun.
It's smoky in here.
We need to do that again.
Oh my God.
Stop it.
All right.
William, poor William.
Let's eat this.